And we welcome you back once again to Yankees Hot Stove as we continue from day 2 of the winter meetings. We continue to bring some of the most brilliant minds in baseball to our set. Tim Naehring, the VP of Baseball Operations, is one of those. You didn't know that, did you? We just added that to your Wikipedia page, by the way.
I guess the other night at the pizza place, we got to be better friends.
Yes, we did. Absolutely. Hey, I want to ask you a question. We had a chance to talk to Dave Dombrowski about the Red Sox getting Chris Sale. I think a lot of Yankees fans would like to know, and I'm curious too, when you're in the Yankee suite and the brain trust is up there and a deal like that goes down, especially within a division, what's the chatter like? What are you guys talking about?
Oh, I mean, obviously Sale is a premium pitcher, and we all know what the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry is all about. You know, you look at it both ways. You're going to have to battle Sale now, moving forward. There's also a couple very good position players that went the other way that you may not see X amount of times for a longer amount of years. So it's tough. I mean, we were asked right away, does that change what we're doing, our game plan? Do we change gears? No. The answer is no. We have an idea how we wanted to go into this offseason. We're trying to execute the plan. We still have things that we're doing behind the scenes. So, you know, we saw last year, you know, I thought Brian and the front office did a very good job with some of the moves that were made. And I had an opportunity for the first time to go back into the system and see some of the talent, not only that our amateur guys and international guys have been signing, but also some of the talent that we acquired during the trades. And I will say that I have to think that we're in the top 3 as far as depth, impact type players that are not only close, like the fans saw with Sanchez, for example, last year, but there's depth through the organization, and there's impact type guys, which impact I'm meaning potential all-star in a year, both in position players and on the mound. So we're going to stay with that plan, give those guys opportunity, and you know, it hurts a little when you see Sale, you know, in Fenway, but we got to stick with what we're doing.
Tim, you talk about some of the young players who might have an impact going forward. There's a veteran player who could have an impact next year, too. Brian Cashman told us yesterday a Matt Holliday deal is pending, a physical. From your scout's eyes, describe what kind of player Holliday is.
Well, I've watched Matty all the way back to when he was with Colorado, through the years in St. Louis. One thing that I really like about Matt Holliday is, number one, he's a veteran presence. Number two, we have an inside-out type swing that is very good in Yankee Stadium, which is ideal. And three, he goes about it the right way. And when we start talking about younger players on the roster and how you go about it as a Yankee, this type of guy is a veteran presence that will be able to lead some of these guys down the right path.
You know, you talk about the young players, Tim. I've talked to you in the past about Aaron Judge and his swing and some of the things that he had to do to clean up that swing. First of all, were you impressed what he did in AAA? We saw him at the big leagues. He had some flashes. He also struggled a little bit. So I guess give me where you think he's in his development.
I would say probably about 80% down the road.
Okay.
James Rowson, unfortunately, who we just lost as our hitting coordinator to the major leagues, had a plan put in place. Aaron's a big kid.
Yeah.
And for years, all of us have seen the Randy Johnsons of the world, and they talk about people that are larger, longer levers take more time to repeat their delivery, you know, on the mound. There's not much difference when you start talking about big individuals like Aaron Judge. Really, there's not a whole lot of comps out there. I think he's going to do a better job of getting on his legs. He's done a better job of getting himself into a good hitting position. He's always been someone that recognizes the baseball well, and I think all of us would agree that the power is probably unlike anything we've seen in a while. So it's about consistency. It's about contact. He's a tremendous worker, tremendous kid. Fans are going to love him when he's sitting up here at a desk like we are today. They're gonna love how he handles himself and what kind of professional he is. A tremendous amount of ceiling with him. The key is be patient. You know, be patient. It's hard enough going to the big leagues. It's a little bit harder when you're going to the big leagues in New York and you're putting pinstripes on and everything that goes with that. But the young man's done a nice job. I thought it was a good year development for him, and I'm looking for some very bright things. And if he needs a little more seasoning, so be it. You know, stranger things have happened.
You talk about Aaron Judge. We saw Gary Sanchez last year, Greg Bird the year before. Who are some guys in the minors right now that you think are going to contribute at the major league level in 2017?
Oh, boy. Chance Adams, for example. I was lucky enough to go through the system all year, so I saw these guys actually with my eyes a great amount of time. I have a good feel for what we think of them on the analytics side. I was very impressed. I'm telling you, Gary Dembo and his people are teaching these guys the right way to go about the game of baseball. Their work is outstanding. On the mound, I would think a Chance Adams is someone that I think is very close. I think everybody saw Caprillion last year. There's no doubt that Mr. Caprillion, after an April start that I saw, could have been pitching in the major leagues. There's no doubt about it. Unfortunately, missed time because of the elbow. I saw him at the end of the year in Instruction League and follow him out from there, and he pitched in the Fall League. So obviously he's a name that we need to think about. There's a whole host of guys that can be brought up in the relief efforts, like we've seen in the past. Guys, besides that, I mean, Tyler Wade made tremendous strides. Andujar at third base is, for me, an outstanding prospect, which I think once we go into camp this year and some of these guys now have a face to a name, I think fans are going to say, wow, you know what? It's not just Judge and Sanchez. There's other guys that probably have comparable ceilings as far as future grades on them and how they can impact our organization.